Happy Friday, you guys. Today's podcast topic of the week is the rich get richer during a recession. This is podcast number 15. Yvonne here.
Hector here.
Ruben Jeezy.
Lex here.
Jackie here.
Ralphie.
No, man. Jesus.
So today we're going to be talking about the current market, guys.
The current market.
Topic.
Where it's heading, the changes that we've been seeing recently. Can somebody tell me what changes have you guys seen when it comes to the interest rising?
So the Feds met on Wednesday and the rates went up another 3/4.
Nice.
Yeah, so the current market reminds me of 2005 because I was in the first recession, which was really bad. As a matter of fact, I thought I seen it all in the 9/11 terrorist attacks where the rates went slightly high and then they dropped. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's going on? There was a little shake up in the market, but it was nothing. I mean, it's unfortunate a lot of people lost their lives in that, but meaning talking about rates and real estate, it was nothing compared to 2006, 7, and 8. And today's market reminds me of 2005, where people were moving out of the higher end properties or higher counties. Example here, LA County, Orange County. So people were not buying in LA and Orange County, they're buying in the outskirts of San Bernardino, Riverside, which they were doing that in order to buy less, get more home for less price to kind of make up for the high interest rates. And that's exactly what was happening in 2005. NODs and foreclosures were being filed as we have them now. And I know you guys have experienced NODs and foreclosure filings, right? And it reminds me of 2005, which to me, if I'm correct, 2006 is next year, and then 2007, and here we go again. So where the current market stands, it's scary, but I actually could navigate these rough seas because I was there the first time. I damn near almost drowned, but it won't happen again. And this is where the rich get richer, where the investors go happy-go-lucky and say, hey, you're losing your home, I'll give you some money. $50,000 for a person who's in default, who's in foreclosure, who's having financial hardship, $50,000 means a lot. But you have like $300,000 in equity, but you're about to lose the property in a week or 2 or 3. $50,000, you're happy. Investor gets the property, they do a little TLC on it, turn around, sell it. They just made $200,000, right? And that's how the rich get richer. That's one of the ways that the rich get richer. And then hard money, private money lenders who are investors who have money, they're also very active in this market because they're either helping people purchase flips on properties that were sold at auction and or properties that are on short sales. We will be seeing a lot more of that. But that's where the current market is for me, my opinion, and I'm sure each one of you guys might have your own opinion.
I've noticed that listings are staying longer on the market. There's no buyers right now, or at least like before, a few months ago when you had a line outside waiting on the open house. Now you're just waiting for a client to come and submit an offer.
Yeah. This weekend, I actually went to Paramount and they had a house that has been on the market for 126 days. And the next day, the agent called me to see if I wanted to submit an offer. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Before, the agents wouldn't even reply to you or give you the time of day. And now they're actually calling you.
Yeah, that happened to me just weekend. So I was in Bakersfield in really nice areas too. Houses are like 1,800 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. And they've been on the market for like 60, 70 days. And it's crazy that no one submitted an offer. And then open houses, nobody was even in there. So it's just really different to see from a couple months ago, you know?
So it's no longer a seller's market. And the indication shows that it might potentially become a buyer's market, but buyers are waiting to see what happens as we're rolling out different programs, right? To be able to help with this crazy market. Well, it's not crazy to you guys yet, but I already see it. So I already know that what's going to happen. I know I'm guilty of taking on an offer on a property desperately. I didn't even check cross qualification or anything because I'm also a mortgage broker. I didn't do any of it. I'm like, let's open escrow. It turns out that the client backed out of it prior to opening escrow because the rates are too high and they can't afford the payment. And that's what the agent told me. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So in that case, we had a buyer. Actually, the seller decided to help towards closing costs to buy down the rate. So that can be an option for your buyers, asking for closing costs from the seller so they can buy down the rate. So you have a 2-1. So at least their payment for the next year is going to be lower, 2% lower than what it is. And the following year would increase by 1 percent higher while, the market adjusts. So that's an option to request for closing costs towards buy down of the rate.
With that being said, I know the lenders are rolling out different programs, one of them being a HELOC. And you guys are familiar with the HELOC, right?
Yeah.
Home equity line of credit.
Yes. And a DSCR.
So the HELOCs are pretty fast based on the equity and the property. You do need a 640 FICO score, and the debt to income ratio cannot exceed 50%. I know if you're a buyer or a homeowner, you're like, what is a DTI? So you can just give me a call and I can explain. We can qualify, it closes in 5 days. And that's a way, instead of refinancing, it's a way of you taking out cash from your property. Should you need any cash for the holidays, or if you want to, for instance, build an ADU or do anything else or go on a vacation, you can actually take out money from your equity as a standalone second.
And what are the rates on that?
Varies anywhere from 4 to 12%. It all depends on FICO score. Yes. And actually the buyer or the homeowner is the one who, not the buyer, the homeowner is the one who chooses the rate and the cost. So it's all,
That's cool.
that's your term. So you get to choose. We don't get involved. There's a system automated. It tells you whether you approve or not. And then you can choose the cost and the rate.
What about when it comes to the least and the max that you can get?
So the minimum loan amount is $20,000, and the maximum loan amount is $400,000 as long as you have the equity to withdraw, because we can go up to 90% of your home value.
And a lot of people think that you get charged interest on the amount that you qualify for, but it's actually you only get
charged of the amount you
correct?
use, correct?
It's like a credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pay it off whenever.
Yeah, so you don't need to use all of it. Let's say you just need holiday shopping. That's like you took out 100, but you only need 20. You still have the
Dang,
80.
20 for holidays?
Good luck.
Wow.
I know, right? Yeah, another good program that they have right now, DSCR. It's good for investors that want to acquire more assets to their portfolio. It's called DSCR, known as the debt service coverage ratio. It's good because you can acquire an investment property without showing any income. It's just go based off the appraisal and your credit, things like that. So it's an easier way to acquire more income properties.
That's actually good. For a lot of people who are,
Already homeowners.
and they own 2 properties and they're absentee owners, they don't live in the property.
Right.
And they have another property and you want to, like she said, vacation, right? Or build an ADU or do whatever it is that maybe you want to pull out money to become an investor and buy some of these properties. As I said, rich get richer in this bad market, right? So that's a good one. And then what are the documentation? I think it's minimal, right?
Minimal documentation, yeah, correct.
No taxes?
No taxes.
Just the rent has to cover the payment?
Yeah, rent has to cover the payment, or it could be close enough to the payment. And even if it's a little bit below, you can still be able to qualify for one.
And rates are upwards of 7, right?
Yeah, upwards 7, 8.
7, 8. Okay.
Oh, that's perfect for people that don't report much on their taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Because a lot of people don't report their rents on their taxes for whatever reason. They don't. I know we're always looking for alternative programs to kind of, help consumers in today's market, right? And one of the programs we have are business loans. And Rafa, you want to touch on the subject on the business loans?
Well, for this one, it's a business loan that we have been using recently for those who make $6,000 monthly and they have a 640 FICO and up. They can be eligible to cash out money for their business, or those who are starting to start off their business and they need that extra cash to boost up their business more or buy necessities. For example, truck drivers, they have mechanical problems and they don't really have the funds to do that. Well, this can be a good option for them to take out money, either do what they need to do, have extra cash to expand their business, and by the next year, eventually, their business should be flowing back. They'll be able to pay back their money.
I have a question. For the business loan, do you have to own a home?
No, you don't.
No?
No.
Okay, so it's just as long as
It's
you
just
make a
business
Yeah.
purpose.
It's
And
business purpose.
the first loan you pull out can only be a maximum of up to $250K. And then after that, you can pull up to, I believe it's $2 million.
Yeah, and it's non-collateralized. So it's
Yeah,
actually
it's
good loans.
non-collateral.
And we're rolling out these programs because a lot of people who are in foreclosure too, right? I know that they're in foreclosure, the FICO is probably lower than 640, but they lost their job. And you have plumbers who are wage earners, you have electricians who are wage earners. And I'm like, dude, don't wait on someone to hire you. Why don't you open up your own business? You have so much equity in here. We can help you incorporate, open up a business with you, not us with them, but open up a business for them. And then, tap into some of these funds, fix the credit and tap into some of these funds so that it can help them, start their business. And hey, you're back on getting paid again. A lot of people are scared to go self-employed, but I'll tell you what, if I'm not employed and nobody's hiring me, I got to figure something out, right? And I have the talent. Again, you guys all go to school for your license. You guys all go and take your exam. I don't do it for you guys, right? And the truth is that, without you guys, companies can't stay open, right? But sometimes in your guys' case, you're already entrepreneurs. You're already self-employed. So sky's the limit for you. But if you were a wage earner, right? First off, you'd be frustrated with me telling you to get your ass in here early, right? And stay long and do weekends. And you couldn't do anything without you being micromanaged, right? And so already just that stress alone is like, fuck, dude, like I'm already frustrated. Then you get fired and they don't want to hire. And everywhere you go, they're like either not hiring because they have enough employees or whatever the case be. Hey, use your talent. I think the value is greater value. If the employer doesn't see your great value, then you give yourself your greater value and go become self-employed. And I promise you, the business that you do, the work that you do, which I'm sure is good quality work, will end up paying you guys 10 times more than an employer would pay you. Because believe me, they make a lot of money off of you.
But you have to be disciplined.
Yes. Thanks, teacher. So recession preparations, meaning cutting down on payments.
There's been a lot of agents and a lot of people talking about, okay, there's a recession coming, and they were just talking about how to prepare just for like when it actually hits.
Right.
So a good way to start for that is like cutting down on unnecessary payments or unnecessary things that you don't need right now. And this can apply for everybody too as well. Just because like if you think of it, like sometimes we're like paying like 100 stuff on apps on our phone, like for things that we're signed up for, like we don't even use them sometimes.
That's Miss Yvonne. She doesn't even know what gets charged anymore.
Yeah.
So this is just a really good time to really control your expenses. That way when like if prices do go up, even when it comes to the market, food, and other necessities that you use in your household, you're more prepared for it and you have all your expenses more controlled.
What do you think one of the biggest mistakes we make as self-employed individuals? And I can start off with, we don't bring our own lunch, right? We go and spend $20, $25 a day. And if you tally that up, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Especially right now, it's so high. And not only that, but we don't know who's cooking our food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's all fine and dandy. I'll eat a frozen burrito, bro. It's like Tina's will give it to you for $1.90 versus $25, and especially if you're buying in twos.
Yeah.
Or you'll spend and hope that you'll make it next month.
Yeah.
That's one. What's the other one
That's
that we're
$6
overspend on?
Starbucks every morning that I used to do.
What else do we overspend on? Stuff we don't need. Starbucks daily.
Yeah.
Clothes.
Certain apps too, for like television, Netflix.
Yeah, certain subscriptions that we don't even.
I know. I was paying for like Hulu, Netflix. Also, I pay like for my Fire Stick, and I only use Netflix. So I canceled my Netflix. And we also cut out cable in our house because we don't watch cable. We're paying, I think, like 200 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one has ever turned on the TV on to say like, oh, I'm gonna watch channel 292 Disney XD. Like, who does that now? Like, we just go, we want to watch a movie, we go on Netflix, or you go on like on the website online and you're able to find a movie
For free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And get this on your phone. So my service provider, I pay. Netflix is free. It's part of my service provider, but I became a business because it was individual. So when you might have on your service provider a different type of service or programs, whatever. If you tell them that you're self-employed, you might get a better deal, and they might include like a Netflix in there or whatever, and your bill will drop too. I'm just letting you guys know that's out there.
Yeah, I think we did that for the T-Mobile plan that I'm on as well.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Another thing that you should cut back on.
I'm going out.
I mean, you can go out, but just
keep it
don't eat out
Just take your
Yeah.
bottle
too
in your pocket.
much, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying take a sandwich with you when you or your friends go out to eat.
Hey, we used to do it when we used to go to Magic Mountain.
That's acceptable. I like taking. Nothing tastes better than taking my own sandwich to Disney sometimes with like a Dorito bag. and just like a regular sandwich with my
Six Flags
soda.
doesn't even let you, I think, anymore. It's just Disney that lets you take food.
Well, they figure things out. They want to make sure you spend money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can cut down on, and there's a lot of ways to make money too. With the next subject is how to make money in a recession, and also how to make money off money. Well, I'm pretty good at making money off money, but that's like a whole again, that's a whole different podcast. Serial numbers, errors on coins, bills, and everything. I sell them on eBay. It's just my little hobby. No, it's not going to make me rich, but it feels damn good to be able to make money. Let's say, for example, Alexis, Dad, buy me these $200 pants. Really, Alexis?
Excuse
Okay.
me, I haven't asked you to buy me anything
It's
in
been a while.
while.
Okay, Fabian, buy me these $100 pants. I'm like, dude, Rick, serious? And then he uses them twice or three times. I'll put it on eBay and it sells $25-$30 or whatever. So I get my money back. How about yard sale? How else can you make money?
You can leverage credit. Not saying random credit cards and they'll pay it back, but you can leverage credit to buy something that brings you money and then just pay it off monthly as well.
I see some guy buy Rolexes with his credit card, and then he goes on and he has like a Rolex something on eBay. Dude's making a killing on it,
Yeah,
and he says, "I just paid before my payment is due."
Yeah.
It's like crazy. So he's right.
Mm-hmm.
How else?
Go through your closet. Everything you don't wear, sell it.
Because it's just sitting there getting old.
It's just sitting
and
there.
I think a lot of people have stuff like that too, so you can
They just
find some
leave
good
it.
stuff for
Yeah.
you and just flip it or who knows.
Your insurance, call your insurance company, tell them you really don't drive 20 miles a day, but you only drive 10. Because sometimes we make the mistake of not saying,
Yeah.
they think you're putting 30 miles a day and it's really 15. So then your payment.
Or you can just cancel it, you know?
You can
And
cancel.
don't.
Like you become your own insurance. I'm like, but he didn't tell me anything else, of course, because he's my insurance guy, right? But I was looking into it and I couldn't find it. And you could become like, I think I said sovereign, but it's not a sovereign thing. It's another word he used where you can represent yourself on your insurance. It's crazy. Like you, I don't know. I don't know what it
So
is.
you
I
pay
gotta
yourself
look
or
into
what?
it. No, you pay less. So if you're paying $125, you pay $50.
Oh wow.
Pay yourself is nice, huh? You would. How else can you make money?
Just basically on a hobby.
Yeah. Like you make money off coins.
I made $73 on my book.
Oh, yeah.
That's why that's $93 on my book.
Barnes & Noble, guys.
You can sell, Ralph. You can put your feet pictures on there.
Oh yeah.
I can like
What is it
resell
called?
shoes.
Only
Seriously.
what?
There's so many shoes that I have that I don't wear. Like,
Oh, sell them.
for example, the ones I'm wearing now, except I've only worn these like 3 times and I've had them for like 2 years.
Yeah, I used to
And I could still sell them for like $200-$300.
And you'll be surprised how many people buy it. OfferUp and eBay.
With
I'm
Ongo and stuff.
not promoting anyone, but eBay pays the best out of OfferUp. You have higher end buyers. And OfferUp, they want to offer you $10 on eBay.
Let me create a bidding war.
Yes.
No, OfferUp.
Facebook Marketplace is a good one
It's
too
okay.
that I like.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's where you got to
Where?
put them.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace.
All right. So I think we're on to the next subject. Properties are dropping. I was going to say dripping. Yeah.
But it is dripping outside right now.
Properties are dropping, interests are rising, which means less competition as a buyer. Is that true?
Yes.
Very much so.
The 2 weeks ago, I went to San Bernardino, actually Riverside, sorry, and we saw that this property had an open house for like Saturday and Sunday, and we waited till Monday to go see it because it was a holiday and, you know, my clients work. And I was calling to see if we had a chance with the the seller. And I asked how many offers he had, and he said he had none. And he had an open house before that. So I was kind of surprised. And I was like, that's crazy. So then I submitted an offer at asking price, and we got it accepted at asking price. We didn't even have to go up.
You didn't have to go up. Did you get any closing costs?
No, we didn't.
A lot of people are doing that now. They're trying to see. I think it's going to become a buyer's market in the next year where people are going to go less on the price or at price. I think they're going to go under price and get
For
some
sure.
closing cost money.
But it's a super nice house. It's a house that in LA County would probably be for like $750, $800.
So it's right to use the word drip.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
dripping.
dripping.
Property is fresh.
That's a new word for me.
Swag.
That means it drips.
She thought the new paint.
So that's about right. So is selling a good time right now?
It's all up to you. Right now, it could be a good time for you to sell because you're gonna get buyers,
Mm-hmm.
depending if you price your property right.
True. I mean, if you think like the properties are gonna drop more in like you've been ready to sell, but you've just been holding back.
Yeah.
You can always sell high right now since they're still selling high, and put your funds in a 1031 exchange.
Well, it has to be an investment home, but you're right. If it's an investment home they're selling, you can do a 1031. Find another similar property. I think you have 60 days to identify.
Yeah, I was
property.
gonna ask that. It's 60 days, right?
And then depending on the scenario too, maybe they want to move out of state or something. So it's good.
Time to
Good
sell.
time to sell. Yeah.
I think it's up to the situation of the seller. If you're going through some hardship, you're having problems, you're in foreclosure, you need money for this, for that, they want to move out of state, whatever the case be. There's so many reasons why a seller might want to sell. They, reach out to someone and find out.
Yeah, you can call GF5 at 562-382-1933.
Ring, ring. Can I still sell my property at a high value?
Yes, right. Because of the properties, they increase drastically, so you still have equity. A lot of the properties that are in default, they have a lot of equity. So yeah, it's still
However, I see FISBOs that are like 500,000 over their value. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
that is what you
Price right.
cannot do.
I just feel like some sellers still have the mindset of before,
Yeah.
so they're expecting like 30 to 40K over
Over
asking
asking.
price, which it's still a good market to sell. Like, for example, the one I just sold in Long Beach, it was sold for 19K over asking price, so it was pretty good, but it wasn't compared to how it was recently. But
What's also
it's
if you list properties like under what the value should be, people are coming in.
They're gonna create a bidding war.
Because Kirsten and I went to an open house and it was a probate, but there was a line of cars with no parking of people going in because it was listed. I think
it was like 480 because it was like
it was
Yeah,
it was
it was
480,
480.
480 in LA, and it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So there was like lines of cars.
So more of the story, get yourself a good agent like us to bid for you. Well, to negotiate for you.
The seller has to have the current economical adjusted mindset, meaning don't exaggerate and think you're in 2019, 20, 21. Let's be realistic. And it is the selling agents or the listing agent's job to reality check the seller. We can sell your home for a good price, but don't expect it to come higher and above, right? And then it depends on the buyers too, because there's some buyers out there making a killing in this bad market. Restaurant owners, how are they doing? Everybody's still eating, right? Who else is doing? Oh, doctors, they're doing great because people are still getting sick. You have COVID out there still, right? Even though nobody talks about it, it's out there. So it depends on the area. And for example, North Downey, attorneys, restaurant owners, doctors like to buy in that area. So I just talked about the attorneys are taking off right now. Bankruptcies, wow. Divorces because of frustration, great, right? Then you have restaurant owners because people are still eating. U.S. loves to eat, right? And then you have the doctors. People are still getting sick, and there's a lot of so. It depends on the area. So if you're trying to sell something there, good chances you'll get market if not above. But if you buy in another area, I would say lower income area, then that's where you're gonna ask for some closing costs. But anyways. Hold the money from the sale in a 1031 exchange so it isn't taxed. Go ahead.
that's only if, like how we mentioned earlier. It depends if you're an investor. You have to go into a 1031 exchange.
And do you recommend to pull cash out during a recession?
You could if you have it and if you're able to make the payments, because then that's when the opportunities come.
Yeah, in the recession,
When you can invest.
acquire assets for much cheaper.
You just can't take out money and expect to make money and then be in a deficit. You have to make sure you're good to invest, so you won't.
So you mean make sure you have someone solid that gives you if you're starting, what happens if you're starting? You need someone who's going to counsel you into doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where who comes in? Jackie, Ralph,
Ruben and
Ron,
Andy.
Hector, Lexus,
Lex.
Kay, Ruben? Damn. Okay. And I know before we end the podcast, I wanted to do something a little fun for us Gen Xers. Dude, I just saw that video on Gen Xers. We're badass, man. But,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
right? Gen Z, right? Gen Z. They don't give us names, guys. We're both letters. Gen, that's what we have in common, right? Everybody's on baby boomers, millennials, and we're Gen X and you're Gen Z. So since we're alphabets and letters, I have a Gen X question for you four.
Okay.
And I'll ask one. I'll ask Yvonne. You're out of it because you're like me, a dinosaur. So we're gonna ask the other four. Well, ask another four questions. All right. So here we go. I mean, Hector is pretty old school in a lot of things, so I have to ask him on something a little difficult, and I'm just gonna freestyle it. So if it sounds dumb, I'm sorry. What is a VH1?
Oh, it's a cassette player. Not the movie player where you have the cassette tapes and you put it in. I remember watching Disney movies on this. So.
That's a VH8. What is VH1?
Oh, isn't that a TV show?
Yeah, like MTV.
MTV, yeah.
Okay, like MTV.
Sorry if I got confused.
Alexis.
It's been a long day.
What is a Walkman?
Isn't it the guide? I don't know.
Oh, the watch.
The man that walks you to your destination.
It's a portable music player. So it's like a little circle. You put a CD.
Oh,
It's a tape. It's
It's a
a
tape
tape player.
Oh,
No, it's a tape player.
You-
Yeah, it's a little box and it's a tape
you
player.
would take it with you. 'Cause
Oh,
I had the
okay.
CD
Oh wait,
as
what's
well.
Yeah,
that?
that's also a Walkman.
Yeah.
That's a CD Walkman and that's a tape Walkman. So the Walkman, you would just take it with you, open it up, put a tape in it, play, and you put your headphones on.
Wait,
It's a
what's
good
the map one? I said guide, not guide.
Oh, okay.
By the way. The,
Oh, I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Don't go
Oh,
to the next
okay,
one.
okay.
Jackie, what is the Thomas guide?
It's that what she's talking about. It's kind of like the old school GPS.
How?
It would be in a paper and it would be all the. What,
Paper.
oh, I thought it was a paper because I remember they were like we were like, oh, is it a map?
Yeah.
You just have to trace it.
Yeah. It's
Wow, I
pretty
would
much-
not get anywhere back then.
We had to do that.
That's what I thought you were
Oh.
talking about. Wait, what was the name again?
Thomas guide.
Walkman.
No, Walkman.
Oh,
Walkman.
Yeah,
Never
there's
mind.
I got it confused.
I would literally just stay home.
I'm not gonna make it to the destination.
So back in the days, it was different. You didn't have the signs. You didn't have the CRMLS. You had to literally drive and look for houses for sale, and you had to meet with the seller
Yep.
to propose your offer
Wow.
Ralph
and negotiate.
In,
Okay, for some owner.
had to do that. Present it to them. Ralphie, what is a boombox?
a boombox. It's like those big speaker, the big speaker that has like two speakers on this side. It's kind of huge.
the song you want.
No, I think it's like a cassette player one.
It's a radio.
It's a radio.
Yeah.
Right, you put a point and then you're like,
No, not a.
That's a
No,
good
that's-
one. Those are the ones that have like
Oh.
the Mexican restaurants with the
yeah,
love
I thought that
those.
was
That's
a
called a
boombox.
Those are
jukebox.
Juke-
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's a
So boombox?
He said a VH1. I said the cassette.
All I pictured was pink.
I remember VH1 was like MTV.
I know we have so many things, and it's crazy because when the internet came out, we were actually Gen X is the one who came up with the internet, right? And then we were able to use it. Now they go and they take and run with it with different things, right? And when you go back to what we learned from our baby boomers, man, there's some crazy stuff out there. Like, I mean, I can ask maybe the last question is like, for example, what is LA Gear?
LA Gear.
Do you remember LA Gear?
You should know because it's.
Was it a gym?
Hold on.
Like LED lights? No, I don't know.
Gear that you wear for LA?
Lex?
LA
I don't
Gear.
know.
Shoe
It's
brand.
A brand.
I know it.
Right now, it's up. They have selling it back like Fila and
Yeah.
it's LA
What
Gear.
about you guys?
Champion 2 rised up.
Do you guys remember LimeWire?
Come on.
Oh, I want to see people that go golfing.
No.
And then it's so crazy because that was kind of one of the cheap brands, LA Gear, and now they're coming up and
They were trending.
They were trending, yeah.
Jackie, who is Gumby?
That sounds very familiar, but I have no idea. It's a type of gum.
Pull up Gumby. So it's the little cartoon characters that we have.
Yeah, it was green.
They were green,
Oh.
and he had his little horse. What was his name? Pokey. Gumby and Pokey. Yeah, Gumby and Pokey, and there
Oh, I
was.
remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You know how you asked me about the what's
Oh,
the
Gumby
guide
Adventures?
with the map?
Yeah, Thomas Ken.
Imagine having a job interview and then you have to study the day before to know
To
how
get
to get there. Because if not, you're gonna be late.
Seriously.
That would be
That's
me.
crazy.
Seriously.
That's why they memorize every street,
Every street
though.
you have
Yeah, I remember my deal.
And you need to know your north, west, and south, and east.
Yeah.
Never eat soggy
Soggy
waffles.
waffles, yeah.
yeah.
But even knowing that, I still wouldn't know if I'm still going to
Face to face.
I know.
What are lottos?
Lottos?
Like the lottery.
Lottery ticket?
Another shoes. Lotto is
Oh.
the shoe brand.
Oh.
They're Lotto.
Oh, well, they have the same
And
name.
Hex, I
so-
ended here. Mace Company.
Macy's. Macy's
Mace
back
Company.
I don't know what it is.
It
The
is
one
now-
that makes the corn?
Like Montgomery
The mice?
Ward.
Oh.
It is now Macy's.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said it.
Yeah, but it wasn't asking you.
I thought it
I was like, shut up.
I didn't even know I was gonna be right.
Yeah, Mace Company is
Oh,
Macy's.
I thought it was Bloomingdale's.
That's crazy, right?
I remember when Sears. and
Anyways,
Walmart-
guys.
Dang, Lottos are expensive
Yeah,
now.
they're
Wow.
Lottos
They're at
are.
Nordstrom.
They kind of look like the
That's how you know you made it. It's all your stuff in
Ah,
Nordstrom.
those
Kind
were
of,
cheap
but
back
they
then.
There's another brand.
You guys remember LimeWire?
Yeah, that's where you would download music from, huh?
It went away?
I remember I would always have my MP3
Warehouses,
player
spicy.
connected to
I
that.
know, I remember.
Oh, I know. I forgot about that, huh? We like.
Did you guys have like a GameCube?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
GameCube, Atari.
NES, Super NES.
Oh, when we were Atari, it was these little dumb little dots moving like this. And we're like, damn, this
the
is
tennis
crazy.
ball, the back of the-
Yeah. We can talk for days about this. So we're 35 minutes, which is insane. So I hope people listen to it because it gets funner as you stay longer, right? I think it's after the 28 or
28 minute,
minute mark. So guys, if you don't want to hear us and we're too educational, we're too boring because it's too much greatness for your brain and you want to laugh because you've been stressed, get to 28 minutes and listen from there on. With that being said, Ruben, Grias, XGFI, I'm out.
Hex signing up.
Yvonne out.
Ralph heading out.
Jackie out. Don't
Lex
forget.
out. Sorry, Jackie.
No, it's okay. Don't forget. Sorry, I forgot you were next.
Oh, wow.
Don't forget to comment any topics for the next video, guys.
Also, as a reminder, for first-time homebuyers, December 3, we're having a meeting. It's a
December 3rd, we're going to have a seminar
There we
for
go.
first-time home buyers in
Anybody
Cerritos.
wants to stop by?
or just get educated. You want to know more about the process. You guys are welcome.
And also, we're having a turkey drive.
November 20th.
From 1 to 4 p.m. at GF5. Address 8280 Florence Avenue.
Downey, California.
And
90240.
That's right.
and first free turkeys to the first 50 people, and then we're gonna raffle. Have a raffle after.
The raffle price is still to be determined, but we will let you guys know on the next podcast.
All right, guys. You guys stay awesome. Stay positive. Talk soon. Adios.